You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast following a 4-2 win in the second half of a doubleheader at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. I'm Ross Levitan, back with Lalime's Martian. Pilsy still out on the farm. He'll join us on Monday's Locked On Senators, but what a way to wrap up the day. They had scored one goal in the first 5 periods, and then they score 4 to defeat the Maple Leafs 4-2. Martian, what spurred that comeback?
Said preseason doesn't matter. Who said preseason doesn't matter? That was a nice little comeback by our Sens there, right there. Hey, Ross? They're in mid-season form all of a sudden.
Yeah, not only that, I tweeted out at Sen Central, great to see Mando's bounce back and Sogard. Both guys played the second half of the game. Not an easy situation for them to go in cold, and then Sogi gets beat on a
right away
one-timer very quickly. I turned to my girlfriend. We're having dinner, and I said, or fiance, wow.
Gotta get used to that, man. That's gonna take a minute.
I know it is. She's like, I can't date a guy who doesn't finish his glass of wine before leaving town. I was like, you're not dating anybody anymore. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. You're stuck with me. But no, I was like, the best part about preseason is all the guys we have on the show. Like, they're all playing big roles. Like, that's Mad Sogard. As I say it, puck goes in. She's like,
oh my God. Yeah,
ooh.
That was a great shot, though, by Yarn Croak, though. He did come in cold like that, and that's always hard to do. But, it didn't matter, I don't think, if he was cold or not. That was a great shot. And even Zub's face, he looked behind him, and he looked, and he saw it was in the net, and he's like, oh, wow, that was quick. So, it happens fast. But
let's stick with friends of the show. Story of this game, Angus Crookshank gets them right back in the mix, scoring the first of the 4-goal outburst. And was that Scott Sabourin, or did he steal Mitch Martiner's hands on that play?
Yeah, that was a sick backhand feed there, eh? You don't expect to see that as Scott Sabourin, but occasionally he can pull stuff like that off, I guess. So that's pretty fun to watch. But back to Crooker, man, that kid is picking up right where he left off, with that rookie tournament. He looked like this, that same player. He was very strong in the puck. He's flying around out there, looked comfortable as all hell. And to get the goal like that, you like the way he came off the defense and moved down low into the slot and just picked up that puck, in the perfect spot to take that pass and take that shot. You got to be impressed. He's looking really nice here.
3 goals and 1 assist in the 3 rookie games. And then in his first preseason game, he gets on the score sheet. Angus Crookshank only played 10 minutes and 1 second in this game, but I almost like that for him. Because if he makes the NHL this year, it's going to be in a bottom 6 role. So get used to grinding in the little amount of time that you do get in the game.
Yeah, that's what being an energy player is all about, right? That's kind of the thing. You got to make the most of the little time you have. And that's by doing things that skilled players don't want to have to do all the time. And those are the hard things in hockey, right? Getting hard on the forecheck and laying the body every single time, right? And getting into the dirty areas like that, that's classic. And that's where Angus Crookshank's going to make his bread and butter as an NHL player if he ever, establishes himself regularly, right?
Amazing. I absolutely love it for him going into the third period, just under 5 minutes in, making it 2-1. And then it took another almost 10 minutes, but on the power play, Josh Norris, and this was just a beauty backdoor feed, eh?
Yeah, but the shot too, Ross. He had maybe, this much space to put
Rockstar zone.
Top cheese, and you love to see that. And that, there you go. He just because he's got that nice contract doesn't mean he's gonna forget how to shoot the puck all of a sudden. He can do that. He was put on this planet to bury the puck. So I love to see that from Josh Norris. Feels good too after he was taking abuse in this game, Ross.
Yes. What about that little blindside through the neutral zone? What was up with that?
Oh my God, there's a couple things, man. He got hit from behind as well,
early on,
and then shortly thereafter, I think it was his next shift back because he may have missed the shift. I'm not too sure, but he stayed on the bench either way. But he took a high stick right after that, behind the net. So the guy took a beating today, so he deserved his cookie.
Yeah, and he got it. Wearing the A. Should give a little stick tap. Josh Norris with the A. When you win the fitness test, you better wear one.
Yeah. Did I say that to you, Ross? I think that he should be the next guy up, in my opinion. Say there is some sort of injury to that leadership group. give it to like a guy like Josh Norris, who's part of this young core. A guy like him. I don't really care to see I don't think Holden needs it, but I don't think that
Well, Hamonic wore one this afternoon too.
Well, I mean, I like it on Hamonic too, though. He's like one of the longest, he's been in the NHL probably almost the longest on the team other than a few other guys, but he's right up there, right? Like as far as being a veteran.
Totally.
It'll be interesting to see if hopefully no one gets hurt and we don't ever have to see, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who DJ Smith is going to, start slapping that A on, because remember last year, Nikita Zaitsev was wearing it.
Oh yeah. Well, at one part of the game, I was driving, and Gord Wilson was saying that after he took that hit from who was it? Was it Clifford? It was someone that hit him from behind, and he sat at the end of the bench and he had a long chat with the trainer, and you're like, no, not the shoulder, not a re-injury, and turns out no worse for wear. Had that great release, and then the best moment of the game, and I mean, Sens fans have been on the other side of this, where Brandstrom gets bullied a little bit in front, but Victor Mete trying to get body position on Mark Kastelic.
Yeah.
He's given up about 50 pounds and 6 inches in height there. That was a no-brainer off. We'll touch on the standouts after, but Jacob Larson took the shot, and I actually really liked his game. Very calm, very reliable. Reminds me a lot of Dylan Hetherington. Those two at the AHL level, I think, are going to be pretty solid. Kind of low-event guys, but I thought he was good. He gets the assist, but yeah, when they're battling for that rebound, it's a no-brainer that Mark Kastelic is getting that goal.
Yeah, I think Victor Mete aside, that's a tough man to handle for anybody, I think. And you saw that strength all night tonight. He was all over the puck, and same thing, just so strong on it all night long. So Kastelic is looking really good. If he can keep this going, he's going to, have a really good shot at a spot in that fourth line. Let me ask you the question, Ross. Austin Watson or Mark Kastelic?
Oh, man. Well, I would even say that he was more noticeable than Dylan Gambrell today, too.
Okay, so that's where I was going to go next, because I just want your quick bang. Yes or no, right?
I take him over both those guys.
Okay, yeah, so there you go. I would too.
Yeah, Mark Kastelic, 13:48 time on ice, played over a minute and a half on the power play, over a minute on the penalty kill, 5 hits, 4 block shots, 3 shots on goal, and scores what ended up being the game-winning goal. So, what more do you want from him? I guess he could have fought after his goal. It would have been hilarious to see him beat the pulp out of Victor Mete.
That's maybe the one other thing. Yeah, I was kind of asking for a fight on Twitter there. I was like, when the Sens were down by 2 goals, I think they were at that time, I was like, okay, let's get a scrap going here. I miss the old preseason days where the guys used to just hammer each other all the time. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
especially when I used to go live.
Scott Sabrin's too busy doing no look behind the back feeds for tucks, man. He's not.
Yeah, he's a skill player now.
Yeah, he's a skill guy. From protecting the investments to being a stock market boom himself.
Yeah, he looks pretty decent too. Yeah,
awesome. He's gonna
be nice to have around, right? Just in the AHL.
Yeah, 100%. So Mark Kastelic, that's a nice little stat line for him, though, eh?
Yeah, he did some work there, eh? Yeah, he got a lot done tonight.
No question. So that ends up being the game winner. Tyler Motte with the secondary assist on that goal, and then he gets the empty netter on a nice little shifty play to strip the puck of the Maple Leaf coming up, and puts this one away with 20 seconds left. So that gives Tyler Motte a nice little score sheet or box score stat line. 19 minutes, 50% in the faceoff circle. I don't think he took too many, though. Takeaway, 5 hits, 2 shots, a goal, and an assist.
Ross.
Yeah, team lead. Tied with Casty.
Yeah, him and Kastelic. But yeah, he was another guy who just looked like a little honey badger out there. I didn't realize how fast he is. He's actually speedy. He doesn't look like he's moving that quick.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, but next thing you know, he's right out there. So I don't know. I never watched a whole ton of Tyler Motte, but just based on one preseason, basing it on this one preseason game, he's looking nice too.
How dare you?
I'm feeling good about it.
I'm feeling good too, especially after that sleepy first period. They get outshot 10-3. Thank God for Anton Forsberg. Made a couple big saves. He looks in midseason form. So I think the confidence level, and again, it's early in preseason. DJ Smith said it himself after the first game. He's not judging these guys wholeheartedly on this one game here, right? It's kind of a weird day. Let's see what it looks like later this week and into next week, the final week of the preseason. But right now, it's individuals and how they're going to step up. And I think with that, we can get into some Sens Central standouts. Do you want to lead the way?
Oh no, you go ahead, Ross. You never really get the privilege, so you can go ahead.
Well, I'll take the low-hanging fruit first just to finalize what we've been talking about. Like, Casty has to be in the mix on that one.
Yeah.
First star in the building, on the road.
I know. Yeah, man, unbelievable.
I want to see, actually, let me see what
This
his...
is the kind of thing that, like, you said, like, maybe he should get into a fight. That's actually, like, I think it's a smart move. Like, for a guy like Kastelic in his role, like, maybe he should just get in a scrap.
Yeah, well, he went 5 for 9 in the face-off circle, including 2 for 3 against Austin Matthews, 1 for 1 against Alex Kerfoot. So those are the two NHL centermen they had in the lineup, and he goes 3 for 4 against those two. So see, if he can keep snapping it back at the rate he did last year, he's going to be just fine and not be in the AHL for much longer. Because it's interesting. He's one of those guys where, like, some guys are in the AHL for seasoning because you want them to get that next level. Like, I think he's going to be a bottom 6 guy, whether it's the NHL or AHL. Like, it's not like he's going to go down to the AHL and be a first line center. Like, it's just not his style.
Like,
I think
in the AHL, but in the AHL, he could probably move up and down and be just fine too, right? But yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's his style of play. Like I said earlier, like, make the most of the amount of minutes you get, and he's going to be going hard every shift. So, kind of makes sense for him to be on the bottom 6 either way.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll snap it back a few times because we got some JBD love in the chat too. We'll get to him.
You know what? Yeah, I really like JBD's games tonight. I wasn't gonna go there quite yet. I like Tyler.
How about the hit on Clifford? Not taking any prisoners. That's a guy who I think some rookies would let up on, and he finished that check.
Oh yeah. Well, Clifford's got to, he's a big boy himself. He should be able to handle that, right? Like, but he kind of caught him off by surprise. But there's a few different checks that he had in his own end, and he was holding guys off to the outside like crazy. But, like, his check finishing ability was something that I was impressed by for sure tonight. How many hits was he credited with, by the way? 5 as well. 5 as well. So,
are you talking about Casty?
No, JBD.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he and Shabbat both had 5 hits on the back end.
Yeah, so we said the two other guys were tied for the team lead. We forgot about the defense there.
Yeah.
Those two guys
kind of like the Leafs.
Yeah, but no, I was actually going to go the other way with my standout, though. It was going to be Tyler Motte. That was going to be my guy. Yeah, Tyler Motte, I thought was having a really good game, and it was nice to see him rewarded with that empty net goal as well. He also had 19 minutes of ice time for, in this split squad game. You can't really – that'll probably be his season high, Ross?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. I mean, unless it turns into Nick Paul does it all, like that gritty third-line guy who can kill penalties. And DJ Smith addressing the media right now, and the quotes are starting to come out, and it does seem to show that penalty killing is a big aspect of his game. Something that DJ just mentioned here. I'll go with Angus Crookshank then.
That was the next thing I was about to say. Was it him on the penalty kill? He looked fantastic there as well. But yeah,
hell yeah. Ahead. Well, no, just Crooker, and again, finish off. We're almost rehashing the 3 guys we spoke about most, which makes sense because we come in with the lead. So. But 5-on-5, the expected goals for Angus Crookshank, 50%. Anything above is good. Angus Crookshank in his 10 minutes at 5-on-5, so maybe a little bit less because he did get some power play time. So let's say in the 850 he was out there.
Yep.
91% expected goals for percentage. That is ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Ridiculous.
Advanced stats, baby. The advanced stats are in his favor. You gotta love to see it.
All right. Back to the eye test. Your thoughts on Tyler Boucher in tonight's game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I got a soft spot for Tyler Boucher. No, I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but I like I like the guy. I like the player. I think he plays just like such a fun style of hockey to me that in a way he's the throwback with his physicality. And yeah, I wanted to give him a little bit of love here because the way his game is, it all translates great to the NHL level. And I think as you see him be surrounded by some more skilled teammates, some of his better attributes are going to start to shine a little bit more, I feel like. But physicality wise, strength wise, he was knocking guys off the puck every time he made contact. He was only credited with 2 hits, by the way. But when you look at if you actually watch the game, he definitely was bumping guys off the puck more than that. And even away from the puck, just taking up space and being in the right spots. But yeah, no, I thought he was really good. And his speed as well is another thing that didn't look out of place at all. And I think Tyler, he's looking okay. I hope they keep him around for a while. I want to see a few more preseason games out of him.
Yeah, I think the team wants to see it too. I thought he was all right tonight. I like that third period, the little curl and drag, got a good scoring chance, and then
That
created a
too,
scrum
yeah.
around the net. I like that style from him, and I also liked what Shane Pinto brought tonight. I think we got Pinto Beans in the chat, so she'll appreciate this. But he just brings it every shift. Like he's so much fun out there, and
Yeah.
Matthews, I guess, took a page out of Marner's book where I guess ice is slippery. Watch out. He
Yeah.
got a little tap in the legs, and wow, he looked like a ballerina out there
Yeah.
flying all over the ice.
I saw Pinto Beans tweeted out a hilarious screenshot of Austin Matthews. Like he looks like he's just like flailing midair. But if you watch that play, yeah, it was a pretty quick, like just barely touched the cap of his skate and down he goes.
Yeah, that's tough. For a guy who's 220 pounds, you'd think it'd be a little harder to knock him off the puck, but that's neither here nor there. What was your thoughts on the top line here? We talked about how discombobulated the top line was earlier today with DeBrincat, Giroux, and Stützle. What'd you think of the Norris, Batherson, Kachuk combo?
They started clicking a lot faster than the other line, I thought, especially on that Norris goal.
Still took a while, though. The first couple periods,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
it
mishandled
was
pucks.
definitely, but it always does. That's the way it is in the preseason. So, yeah, they still got some stuff to work on again too, but they'll get. I imagine they'll get into a rhythm pretty fast because those guys have been playing together for a couple of years now.
We gave JBD his roses, 3 block shots for Jacob Bernard Docker as well. What was your thoughts
2 in one
on
shift?
Lassie Thompson? What about him? Because I know those two are always going to be compared and contrasted as we move along through this preseason.
Yeah, he was a little less noticeable, I thought, which also at the same time is kind of a good thing for a defenseman. Like I said in the last postcast we did, like what, 6 hours ago. So yeah, no, like my favorite part of Lassie's game tonight was when he just wound up for this massive one-timer slap shot and ripped it like 6 feet high. It was classic, Ross. Did you? I don't know if you remember.
No, I missed that part.
Oh yeah, it was like a huge Tom bomb from the point.
That's awesome.
And he like missed the net by like 6 feet. It was amazing.
That's
like,
awesome.
It was one of those ones where it hit the middle of the pane of the glass, and you could just see the whole thing bend.
If you had to cut one player after today's game, who would it be?
Did somebody ask that in the chat?
No, but great question.
That's a savage question.
Okay, well, how about this?
Rourke Chartier, probably.
After all of today, though, was there someone who you're like, all right, I've seen enough? And Devin's already got my thought in pen there.
Okay, yeah,
22.
Oh, geez, was 22 playing in this game?
No. I'm just saying, like, from both games today, like wrapping up both games. Like,
I mean, 22 for sure, but yeah, I mean, there's a few like AHL guys who are.
Let's get some 22s in the chat.
Let's throw some 22s in the chat. Let's go 2-2.
That is savage. I like this question. Todd was saying that he liked Lassie more than Branny, though. Where are you at with that? We actually thought Branny played pretty decent today. Other than that, I mean, other than an absolutely brutal giveaway where he put it right on the guy's tape in the slot.
Yeah, that's just such a weird question because, like, I don't think that Brandstrom is worse than Lassie Thompson.
No, this is overreacting to a small sample in a preseason game.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're doing that, then Lassie looked better, yeah. Because like Brandstrom does those things that you just don't like to see, and for me, I want my defenseman to be reliable and not like a liability at times, like Zaitsev.
Yeah,
so,
I think
we gotta stop doing that. That's me.
Something we have to get to, I think later on, and maybe this is going to take up an entire Locked On Senators podcast, but we got to do like a deep dive on the defensive structure when the puck gets slinging around the offensive zone. Like this team just falls apart.
Yeah, it's that whole like they just collapse and then they just give too much space. I think that the Sens, the way they're built with the players they have, I think they would do better to like be a little more aggressive in the defensive zone. I find they do collapse on themselves a lot, and then guys get caught standing still, which is the worst thing you can do.
So funny. Like this team's a mess defensively. They've
had
2 days of training camp.
Here's the thing, right? You can't look at a preseason game and win or a loss as like an indicator of anything. Like,
but it would have been bad as a fan to have the loss both games. Like at least to split. I know results don't matter, but a little bit of pride.
Ross, they pushed. You could tell that they did push. Like especially at the end of the game, they started actually upping the tempo. So I mean, that's good for them though. They should be doing that all the time. But I realize it's preseason, so like a lot of the core guys and like the main guys just want to make sure they get to the regular season healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a wild day. I don't know. Like, do you like doubleheaders? I don't know if I like it. One's nice.
It's fun, but like no.
But we were saying so on that note, like they play 8 games this preseason, and I looked around the league, and Arizona plays 7, but a lot play 6.
Yeah, you know what it is though, Ross? I look at these games right here as like not even real preseason games. They're split squad. So it's not like, it's not like you're actually giving the guys who might be in those spots their spots in the lineup, like it's not like they have the full first 3 lines set and then they're like mixing in different players in the 4th line or whatever, the guys who they feel like they're trying out for a job. I think the second half of the preseason is where you're going to start to see a little bit more of that. Right now, they still have such a young organization. They need to mix in these young guys, get them a little experience. But I imagine by like the 4th or 5th preseason game, most of these guys who you're not ever going to see play for the Sens in the regular season won't be around anymore.
I got a great question here. Seb was the inspiration. I was driving home from the girlfriend's. Literally since our last postcast, I had a nap because I worked 4 a.m. to noon today. Came home. The game actually started right at noon. Watched that postcast. Went to bed, woke up, went to the girlfriend or the fiance, had a steak and a bottle of Camus, and then came back. And on the way back, Seb goes,
we're just going to pass over the bottle of Camus.
Hey, the in-laws, we're being very generous. We're in celebration mode.
All right.
And, okay, since we're actually on that, something funny that happened. When I went to go ask her parents' permission last week to marry her, she said, they said, or I brought a nice bottle of wine, like a nice Brunello. Okay, like nice thing, right?
Yeah.
I go there today and he goes, we drank it, so it's done. I go and the exact same bottle. He's like, here, I got you something. I was like, dude, I just brought it to you. Like, why are you giving? Yeah, he's just returning it. The exact same bottle.
He re-gifted you your own wine.
Yeah, hilarious. By the way, great wine right here. Castle Giocondo Brunello di Montalcino, nice Tuscan red.
I love
Very
that.
good.
Little free ad.
No free ads, but if you ever want to send over some wine, that is one that I will always appreciate. That's a long way to get to Seb's question. If you had to pick between Kastelic, Crookshank, Greg, Boucher, or Sabrin, he throws in Savvy to play one spot.
I'm gonna just remove Sabrin immediately. Love him, hometown guy, but he's
investment protector.
He's a good AHL player.
Yeah. Who are you picking though?
He can come up. He can come up every now and then if there's like a 4th line role that needs to be filled. But like he's not going to be a starter. But if we're looking at this group right here, to me it's Kastelic because Crookshank and Greg, Boucher's too young at this point. He's not there yet. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But Crookshank,
well, I mean, everyone knows that it's you that has to be honest.
Well, I am. That's what I'm doing. But no,
you're saying let's like there's an army of people that
let us all
like
let
we
us
do.
all
Yeah,
let us all do this. No, for me, Crookshank and Greg are like more. They need more ice time than that. They can't be a 4th liner. Stop laughing.
No, look at this. Read this, Damien. It's true. Sabrin does just remind us of that season.
Yeah.
Remember when he got KO'd by David?
He actually looks better now than he did then, though.
That was scary. Remember when Backes and him collided? That honestly feels like 25 years ago. Remember he was down for like a half hour.
Remember last year too? Didn't he like break his finger or something really bad?
Yeah, but and it was like hanging all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, that's nothing compared to when they had to bring the stretcher out in Boston. That was wild. Yeah. Oh yeah, Damien said he scored the opening goal of the whole season. I remember those tweets were awesome. Where it's like, he has more goals than Matthews right now.
That's right. Yeah,
that was awesome. That was a fun 5 minutes. Sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice ad, Damien. Appreciate that. That's great. So you're taking Casty out of those guys?
100%. Yeah, to me, like he can fill a 4th line role, and that's where he wants to be, and that's where he'll be effective. So I really like Mark Kastelic.
Sabrin scored in that game. Damien saying he didn't, but he definitely scored in that game. But now you've got me curious.
But against the Leafs in the home opener, he did 100% score in that game.
Yeah, I think so too. 2019-20. Yeah, he did. And I think he did score before Matthews. Matthews definitely scored. Yeah, he scored, and then Matthews scored twice in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, classic, of course.
Yeah, Brady did score the season opening goal, so you're right on that. But then it was Freddie Gauthier, Trevor Moore, then Savvy. Assisted by Philip Schlappick and Jean-Gabriel Pajot.
Oh, my Lord.
What a line.
Yeah.
In real life.
Philip Schlappick.
Sheesh.
Yeah. He's one of those.
Czech League All-Star, though.
He's one of those ones, just like everybody wants him to be good and loves him, but like he just doesn't end up making it.
You think they make cuts tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm curious. Okay, let's talk about Jorian Donovan. This was his first ever game wearing a Sens jersey. What were your thoughts?
He looked like he was having a good time out there. I don't know if you caught some of the cameras caught him a few times on the bench, and the kid was smiling the entire time.
He seems like such a beauty, and he agreed to come on the pod. We just couldn't find a time that worked.
Yeah.
It's hard once you try 3 different times, and it's like, no, it doesn't work on mine. Doesn't work on mine. Then he asked us, and it was like, oh, it doesn't work. It just kind of fizzled away. But once he gets back to the OHL and settled in, we'll get him back on for sure. It's unfortunate it didn't work out, but yeah, he was having fun there. He didn't look out of place. What does it say to you that a 5th round pick from this year got this game ahead of Ben Roger? Not to be hard on 55, but
yeah, we're doing this again.
I know, but it's wild that a 2nd round pick didn't get a preseason game.
Your original question was, who's going to get cut tomorrow? Yeah. And I think 55 is probably on the block here.
I think Hamara is probably going down too.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think there's much of a reason to put him in either.
So. Matt, watch. They're going to be a pair in Winnipeg, and I'm going to have to watch it. Actually, Hamara is someone I'm excited to watch. It's just
they would not. They would not sewer those kids and put them together. I don't think.
And just doing some mental gymnastics here from the Winnipeg Jets put out their lineup for tomorrow's game. So I was kind of being like, okay, so those guys probably won't play in the game against Ottawa. So they're going to be going up against the Jets top line. So I'm excited to see who goes. I hope it's Sanderson and Hamonic. I hope they get that test. It's going to be Connor, Scheifele, and Ehlers. They're loading up that line. So I'm excited to see kind of how.
Yeah, that would be a nice little tester for those two.
Because they've got a ton of speed, right? I want to see how their pivots are good. It's not maybe the heaviest line in the league, but they've got a ton of speed and a ton of skill.
Yeah, that's something to keep our eyes on for sure. Early locked on player to watch is going to be Jake Sanderson in that one. If that's the case, if that ends up being what's going to happen, is if that top line's out there and he is too, then yeah, they should totally do that matchup. Although 100%. They're on the road, so they don't really get to pick.
No, but that's all right. And well, now that Winnipeg has a real coach, maybe it'll be different. But we're getting some questions on Shane Pinto. Sasha asking what we think about Shane Pinto. I mean, this was just a nice little game from him. Snapped a few draws back. I thought he was good.
Yeah, nothing crazy out of him tonight for sure. You could see he needed to get a little bit of dust off of the old twig there. Obviously missing all of last season, so this was his first real competitive game, other than the one rookie tournament game, which, I mean, that's kind of a competition that's below him at this point, but it's good for him anyways. But he was okay. He didn't do anything crazy. I know he had a few chances. He whiffed on one shot where he that was probably his best chance of the game, where he didn't really get a great shot off. But classic Shane Pinto, just always being in the right spots. And man, this kid's hand eye is sick, eh?
So sick.
He knocks pucks down like you don't expect him to, and next thing you know, he's got it. So I don't know. He's fun to watch. Classic game from Shane Pinto. Nothing crazy, nothing great. But I mean, he can do things that are great, but he not tonight.
No, tonight was just a nice slow. The whole team was kind of slow and steady, and then the buildup happened in the third period. There was a time where it was 3-2, and the Leafs put on a ton of pressure late, and that's where I was like, okay, Sogi, let's go. We need you here, because the play was at the other end a fair bit in the third period. So I was really happy to see him, man. Especially he went in at 10 minutes in. It was right at half.
It was 9:44 or something.
Yeah, well, they scored 11:01 into the period. Yeah, exactly.
It was the first shot.
Yeah, one shot, one kill. And for a guy who's been questioned with his ability to kind of bounce back after allowing a tough goal in junior, I think he had not much of a reputation per se, but some would say maybe that bothered him at times. We had some people in the comments or in our mentions kind of say I don't know if he's gonna be a franchise goalie. He kept looking at the bench this game where he was getting lit up, he wanted to leave and blah blah blah. But man, to let in the first goal and then just shut it down right after that. Woo.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice for him, right? I mean, you know better than me, but I'm pretty sure goaltending is 90% mental. It's like golf almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, it
like
really
if
is.
you're not feeling good, then you're gonna let stuff in. So
Mental and stretching.
yeah,
90% mental, 10% flexibility.
and then the rest is just like mechanics, and then
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no.
Well, what's the rest if it's 90 and 10?
What do you mean? That's 100.
Yeah, it was like 90% mental, 10% flexibility, and you're like, yeah, and the rest.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, maybe he's given 110 out there, so maybe it's
Yeah,
another 10.
yeah, 100%.
Sorry.
Some people want to rehash the 2021 second round draft. I'm not doing that right now. Maybe we'll see 55 in the lineup.
Not
Maybe we
tonight.
won't.
Not tonight,
I
sir.
can't do it.
Or
Pilsy
misses.
is probably banging on the steering wheel on the way back from Pillars Farm and saying, you know what, we could have had that too ratty. But we are going to get another game soon. Tomorrow is Fan Fest though, down at the CTC. Always a great time for kids, especially. I'm sure there's some parents in the chat right now, and
Yeah.
these types of events go a long way for kids. Like this is how you make lifelong fans.
Definitely, man. Yeah, if you have younger kids and then you're trying to get them into, you want them to be into hockey, maybe they're showing a little interest, then this is definitely a spot you need to go and check out, because there's going to be tons of opportunity for people to meet players and get autographs and
tours as well. I think you'll be able to get to in the locker room. And hey, if they upgraded everything in the locker room, let's get some. I want to see someone.
POTG. I'm sure we'll get lots of photos on social media and stuff.
Yeah, we better.
I mean, there's gonna be people are gonna be out there, so it's worth checking out for a nice little Sunday for sure. And I believe the doors open at 10 a.m. for that, right? So
I will tell you, I got Media Sends open right now.
Pretty sure it's that.
FanFest is on Sunday. Players will be available to the media following their respective 10:30 a.m. and 11:40 practices. So to me, no, it's probably not going to be split.
No. The thing says it opens at 10. Yeah, part of the practice is open to the fans as well, I think.
Okay, great. No, but I was just saying, it sounds like there's only 2 on-ice sessions tomorrow. Do you think that means the team that played the night game will have the day off? Or are they going to make some cuts and get down to 2 bigger groups?
That's more likely, in my opinion.
But are you really going to cut a bunch of guys right before FanFest? Or would you rather have like all your players there to meet the fans?
No, I mean, let's be like, most people probably don't even know who half those guys are. So yeah, cut them now.
You're ruthless. But like we said, like, hey, the WHL, the OHL, the Quebec League, the regular season just started. Like these players are officially missing games of the regular season. And I think that's why Dalen Wakely and there was another forward, but also Chandler Romeo got sent back down. It's like, hey, go. Like, for especially the 2 guys that were on ATOs, it's like, okay, you're not going to make the team, go play. But for a guy like Romeo, like, go get some action. And I think Ben Roger needs reps right now. Dude, low key, nice little move though. Jacques Martin was hired by the Kingston Frontenacs, and we know he's defensive minded. So maybe he'll unlock something in Ben Roger.
Hey, if there's any coach that's going to benefit the game of a big, sturdy defenseman like Ben Roger, then it's going to be Jacques Martin.
He's had a few in his career.
He's going to put some structure into that Kingston Frontenacs team. Actually makes me disappointed that Levi Merlina didn't stick around, because another thing that Jacques Martin does is he makes his goalies look pretty good, right? Yeah. Patty Lalime, you know what I mean?
Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
At Lalime's Martian on Twitter. I'm Ross Levitan. You can follow us on Twitter at Send Central, on Instagram, lockedon.senators, automatic follow back on the Instagram. And we've got Locked On Senators coming on Monday. No show tomorrow. Oh, darn. Only 4 videos released today. There's plenty to catch up on the Locked On Senators YouTube channel. Next week, 5 shows. I'll have boots on the ground Tuesday against the Winnipeg Jets, but we'll probably do a postcast of that. You and Pilsy will be at home, and I'll call in Leaving the Ranks, something crazy like that. We'll have some fun with it. Absolutely. But any final thoughts on today's events? Like this, after so long without hockey, it was kind of like sensory overload to have 2 games, all these players wearing ridiculous numbers. Like, we're in high number season right now. Like,
a lot of 50s out there.
It's a lot to go on with this time in the preseason, but the bottom line is go Sens go, like Mitch just said. And the other beauty part of this is it's the classic Toronto Maple Leafs third period collapse. I don't care if it's preseason, postseason, or anything in between. It's a great night on Twitter when the Toronto Maple Leafs burn a lead out in the third period. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I hope a lot of fans watch both games so that they can leave disappointed. A lot of Leafs fans I'm talking about, of course.
Preseason, postseason, and everything in between. It's a fantastic night when the Leafs blow.
You gotta tweet that out now.
Period lead. Yeah, because I'm not gonna remember. I'm not so smart. Not like you. So we got to get there. Todd, I already had the Camus tonight, buddy. That's a once in a lifetime. I'm letting that just marinate in my mouth. I also have a 3:45 a.m. alarm going off tomorrow morning. So
yeah, well, Ross, I've got a 9:20 tea time. I gotta wake up,
buddy. I'm gonna be wrapping up my shift very soon after you're on. You're gonna be on like the third hole, and I'm gonna be done my shift.
Yeah, I used to do that, man. I used to work at the airport, and I used to have to do that too. It's not fun. It's not fun, but
it's all good, man. Nothing. A couple coffees, couple sausage and egg McMuffins can't fix, and then I'm on the sports on Monday and Tuesday. I already said in the last postcast not to repeat, but I think it's super cool that I get to host it when the Sens are in town, and it'll be kind of a
buddy,
what do you call it? Paths crossing.
Hey, we'll get those ratings up.
Oh too. Yeah, I'll be tweeting it out from Sen Central. I'll make sure everybody's keeping me honest.
I'll hit the RT button on that. That's
everyone's got to keep me honest.
Boy here.
Oh yes, let's finish off with that, Graham. I appreciate you doing this. I know, Martian, you're a fan of the gangster photos that some of these players can fire themselves up. Please tell me you saw the Ohio State men's hockey photo. They posted a Stephen Halliday.
No, I missed it.
It's all time. Here it comes. Shout out Ohio State on Instagram. Look at this guy. Does he not look ready to dominate?
He is classic. What a weapon.
Does he not look ready to dominate?
Yeah.
Hey, final
another guy who was put on earth to get points in hockey.
Yeah, remember when Pilsy told him to his face he's not a disher? He's like, yeah, I actually had 60 apples in 64 games last year. I'm actually fourth all time in USHL scoring. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, you're right.
You know what? I know what Pilsy meant there though. Like he scores sick goals. Like he scores goals.
Like he's more of a scorer.
He is a shooter. He's a shooter too. Yeah. He can be
amazing. Last stick taps, guest of the show, actually friends with Stephen Halliday as well. A couple Maryland kids. Cam O'Neill with 2 assists in his first regular season game this year with Tri-City.
Good for him.
Is it Tri-City? It's Tri-City.
Hey, I love seeing a Cam succeed. That's good for him. Yeah, that's a nice little start.
Tri-City Storm. Thank you. I don't know why I don't second guess myself. That's the thing. Preseason for all of us here. Preseason for all of us. But
Ross, you're usually on it, buddy. I think people forgive you if you slip up with a Tri-City Storm mix-up.
But the Leafs are in mid-season form, blowing a 2-goal third period lead. The Sens come back and win 4-2. We'll be back for a ton more all week on Locked On Senders. In the meantime, go check out the behind the blogs we've done with Lalime's Martian and many others, including the most recent ones today with La Brigade Pod and Sens Chirp.
Yeah, mine's not any good, so just go watch the Sens Chirp one.
Yours is the second most viewed so far.
Yeah, well, that means nothing.
Behind at Sens Prospects. We did the pyramid with him. Everyone loves Henry. And I want to say all 10 of us will be at the home opener. So we're really looking forward to that as well. Final question. Todd is asking Martian, what's your golf index? I'm assuming that's your handicap.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I'm an 11-3.
Is that good, Todd? We're not leaving till you either roast
Todd's
for that.
Probably gonna be like, yo, I'm a single digit, I'm a 6. So
Oh, that's awesome. Can't control life saying don't forget to tuck Pilsy. And if I know one thing about Pilsy and the days that he's at the farm, he's been in bed for the last hour. He's on the Jake Sanderson sleep schedule. 100%.
So am I lately. I'm past my bedtime here. So
all right. Well, let's wrap it up. We've got a ton of appreciation for everyone in the chat. We've also got a couple of giveaways coming up, including 2 100 level seats we're going to be giving away to the Saturday game, 4 p.m. against the Arizona Coyotes. That is the first Saturday game at home.
Todd, not bad. Buds. He buzzed me.
All right. For at Lalime's Martian, the 11 handicap himself, I'm Ross Levitan. Have a great night, Sens fans, and enjoy a 4-2 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This has been the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every